Hi everybody, today is Friday, August 26th, 2022. Welcome to Jana's Crochet Journey, new, returning, and future. I have a lot of stuff going on. And we all know with the holidays coming, it's not over. I have one finished object and 5 that I'm showing you. I have a couple more that I work on now and then out by my chair, and I'm waiting for yarn to start another one because of course the colors that I needed I didn't have. So let's get started. The finished object is my C2C, which I followed the tutorial by Creative Grandma, Glenda, and I used the Lion brand ice cream yarn, which is a 3 light in the colorway Blue Moon. I believe in her tutorial she said 2 skeins, but I must be a little loose on my tension. First time that I did it, I was a little meh. So I ended up having to order a 3rd, and I'm not sure how much of it I have left. And then around the border, I just did white, and I used We Love yarn, and I have a real tiny little ball left of this, which is also a 3 light, 164 yards. I didn't do as much of the border as I could have because I was ready to call it done and move on. All right. So, did I measure it? Nope. But here we go. Oh, now that I look at it, I know. I didn't have any of that 3rd skein left. Can you believe it? This was the corner. I got this far and I ran out again. And I'm like, I'm not ordering a 4th. So, that's when I grabbed the white and finished the corner and then just chained up and did the border. Now I know, mystery solved. All right, so here we go. This is the blanket. And this was my first C2C. And this was, I think I went around the border twice. The first time was just single crochets, and then I went around and I think it was half double, chain 1, half double. I don't know. I don't remember. Good Lord. I'm lucky if I know what I had for breakfast. All right. So, pretty colors. Ooh, I'm dropping stuff, folks. So there's that. Okay. So I do enjoy a C2C, so I will definitely be making more. What I'm going to have to do is, so there's 394 yards in a skein. So I'm going to have to make sure that I have that times 3 with a little over if I want to make some more. I have a bunch of variegated cakes that I have 3 or 4 of. So I'm thinking a good way to get through those, because they're not enough for a huge project, and if I'm really not into amigurumis right now, which I want to be, but I mean, we're going into September already. Like, I got to get my butt moving on other stuff. So, future ideas, you know how we have like a gazillion of them floating around in our brain. All right, so only finished project. I got my notes. So okay, I did August. Christy from Crochet Creations by Christy is doing a cal where you make 1 glorious granny square a month, which is a pattern by Fiber Spider, and I did August. So what I'm doing is I am just doing a couple the same, and then I'm changing up what order I do my colors. Maybe next month I'll give another quick flash of all my squares, but so I have Craft Smart value in the color Orchard Mist Ombre. And then this one is Red Heart Super Saver in Grape Fizz. Then I have Premier Basic Slate. Then I have Big Twist Magenta. And then I was going around the final row in Big Twist Purple, and then I'm also going to be joining them. So like these are kind of my mishmash, because I felt like the variegateds had these solids in them. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook, and because in July I got July's done really early, so when I'm like, oh crap, gotta get August done, I just grab the yarn. I'm like, oh, I got a lot of purple left, let me just, oh my gosh, duh. The reason you have so much left is because it was pretty much just my border, and then I'm attaching. So a little change of plans on how I was doing that. So this is my August square. I did the purple in the middle, and I know these look kind of stretched out, but it'll all work out once you attach them. Then I took one of the variegateds and just went around it the 2 rows, and then I went back with the purple because it needed to match the rest of them with the border of the purple and then how I'm going to attach them. So yeah, I don't know what the heck I was thinking. So this one doesn't have any of one of the solids in it like I did the other ones. I just jumped to the purple. I'm not sure if I'll do that again, but we'll see. So here's my August square. And I already submitted my photo on Christy's Facebook page showing that I had August done. So that's that. Now I can put it away, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days from now start September's. All right. Now, the next thing I am doing is Nan from Nan's Next Knots normally does the luck of the draw. We are on number 6, but Trisha from Mama Swift is drawing the numbers this time around. So I am using a 6mm hook, and I decided to use the pattern from the Secret Yarnery, Krista, in the Drunken Granny. So I went on Krista's webpage and her Etsy shop and bought what I call her granny line, because she has, you know, different blanket names with granny in it for her patterns. So this one, I'm using the pattern, and then every week when Trisha draws the number, I come in here. So if you're not sure, luck of the draw, I have you pick a main color, 8 other colors, and you put a number on the ball band. So my main color is gold, and okay, I put a stitch marker in. Whew. So I am only doing 1 row of this in between each color. I started with this, did the 3 rows, picked my first, or got my first color from the pick, did 3 rows of that, and then 1 row of this, 3 rows of the next color, and so on. So main color is gold, and then the next color, so I marked randomly before the draw even started. This is bright orange, and I marked it as number 2, and this was the next one that was drawn. Then I did a row of gold. The next number she drew was 8, so I had 8 on this, and this is red, my only solid by I Love This Yarn. Then I did a row of gold. The next color she drew was number 3, so I did 3 rows of this, did my row of gold, and then yesterday she drew the number 7, which I have 7 on my purple, which I have to add this, and I will probably do that today so that I am not too far behind. But so far, this looks like this. And after weeks 1 and 2, I was a little skeptical about the colors because I thought it was looking like a fall pattern or a fall color scheme. And then when the blue came up, it was a nice break in those colors. So I'm not sure how wide this is, but this is what the Drunken Granny looks like up close. Krista does have a lot of tutorials out. She's in the process of recording a lot of them, so I'm not sure if this one is out yet. But see how it looks like a Drunken Granny, hence the name. So now I will put the purple. So I think that looks pretty good. And these are 20-week crochet alongs. So I think that's why I chose to put one row of gold in between, because the last blanket that I did were little window rows with the cal, and it came out a pretty good size. So I thought just to go a little smaller on this and have it come out a little smaller. So that's where I am with that. All right. Then I started, I don't think I brought the pattern in. I mentioned and I showed that Octopus, and I only had like this much maybe a few videos ago. So that is definitely a labor of love for sure, because my son asked me to make it because he wanted to gift it. So I started out with the Stitch Studio by Nicole in teal, which is the main color, and then the color underneath the octopus is going to be Misty Jungle Green in the Bernat blanket. So for this, I'm using an 8mm hook, and that's what the pattern calls for. So I decided on the pattern first. I had bought a couple, and so I thought, well, I have a lot of this yarn that I am turning into blankets, but you know, you really got to have a feel to find the stitches using this yarn. So I got through the body, and you fasten off and do, you know, one tentacle at a time, fasten off, so on, because this has 8 legs. And I thought, just, you know, fight through those tentacles, because holy moly. And when I finally got done, I fastened off the last one, and I was like, phew, you know. And then I started reading on in the pattern, and you have to grab the second color and pretty much do almost the whole thing again. And I was like, ah. So it's kind of been sitting to the side for now, but I did make good progress in order to move on with my other stuff. This pattern is by Mama Mosley Creations. And told you the colors. So I did not weave in all my ends yet, but this is where I'm at so far. So here's the big old head. Big head. Doo -doo. Just picture it stuffed with eyeballs, which I, you know, haven't gotten to yet. And then you attach, and you do so much, and then you chain like 34. And then you work your way back doing certain stitches, which I'm not going to tell you, but and then you work back up, and then you slip stitch it and attach, if I'm reading it correctly, but I'm doing them all the same. So, and some of them are shorter than others by a little bit. I don't know what the heck happened. You know, it's just me. And now I have to take the other color, and it tells you to copy this for so many rows. So you have a certain count, and then you go into the tentacles with the other color as well. And then I'm assuming, you know, you're going to be attaching it on the sides and stuffing, and like, I don't know, I haven't read that far because I don't want to get frustrated and overwhelm myself. But yeah, here is this monster going to be Octopus. So stay tuned for that one. I figure I wanted to show this before I moved on to the second phase, is how I feel about it. And then as I'm doing the underside, you know, I'll be able to show you how I'm doing. All right. Then I am doing it's a shawl crochet along with Christy from Crochet Creations by Christy. You didn't have to pick the patterns that she did. She's doing a knit and a crochet. I was gonna do both. I mean, the knit one you could also do a crochet and have two going, but with all this going on, I just decided to stick with the one. I'm doing the German Shells / Virus shawl by Jonna Martinez, and I'm using a 5mm hook, and the yarn I'm using is Red Heart Roly Poly in the colorway Calm, and I have 3 cakes, and this is my second one, and it's a 4-row repeat paid for pattern, and I like it. And this is where I'm at. I just started the second cake last night, and here we are. So there's that. And up closer. Yeah, so that's how it's going. I like this pattern. It works up pretty quick. When I do work on it, I try to do like a set of 4 rows, and I try not to leave off in the middle. I do have a paper that I keep track. I've mentioned it a few times. I have a notebook that I'll write the project and, you know, the rows that are repeating, and I put a little check mark, because once I walk away, it's anybody's game, especially with what hook I'm using. So I'm very detailed with the details. So that's that. I'm not sure if there was a deadline yet, so I'm just going with it. The last thing I started was a pattern by Crochet Baby Jacket Set. It's free on Yarn Inspirations. I mentioned that so September, middle September, my oldest daughter is due for a grandson, and then my other daughter is due in February for a grandson. So I'm thinking I got to get moving on some things for the baby due in February. The baby shower's in December, so, you know, grandma's got to get her stuff together. So this said to use Bernat Baby Sport yarn, which to me, I thought sport was a number 2, and I was like, heck no, not gonna happen. So I have Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday DK Prints. This is the color Leapfrog. So this is going to be the sweater, hat, booties set. I may throw in a corner to corner blanket to go with, just as the set for my daughter to hang on to and pass on as he gets older, and you know, the ideal to his child or whatever. But she did tell me what her colors are, which is the yarn I have coming, because I want to do another one of Krista's patterns with those colors. But anyways, so I was using a 3 instead of the Sport, and if it's the same, y'all can let me know, because you know I haven't been doing this forever. And I use the 4mm hook like it suggests, and I started doing the set for a newborn, and I'm doing the hat first, and I'm so glad I did, because this thing started to go pretty tiny, and I'm like, this is probably like, it looked preemie size. So you can do newborn, 3 months, or 6/12 months for the set. So I'm doing the newborn. I'm like, no way, this is way too small. So then I backed up a couple rows, started to follow for the 6 month, and I'm thinking, no, this still is not big enough. So I went up to the biggest size, 6 to 12 months, a little bit different, but you know. So then as I got going, I'm looking at it, trying to think of a baby's head, because it's been a few years. So then I decreased the last row just a little bit before I put the final round of single crochets on. So this is the hat so far, but I'm not putting the ears on it. I'm just having it a regular hat. And I figure if it ends up being a little too long, she can roll up the edges. I really don't have much to compare to. It is a little, it gives a little bit, so if she slips it over his little head, it should be okay. So the hat's done. Not putting the ears on. And then I only have 2 rows of the sweater started, and you just chain and work it, and that's it. So it's just getting started. I have 4 skeins of this, and it's 233 yards a skein. I do have something very similar if I feel like I wouldn't have enough for a corner to corner. 233, this was 2, yeah, no. But I do have another one similar. So anyways, 2 rows, that's all Grandma's got on it. And I'm not color controlling. I like it to do its own thing. And in this pattern, it only has you put 1 button on the top. I may see how I like it. If I don't, I'll add a couple buttons. But yeah, that is the big catch up to let everybody know where I'm at. I don't think I showed anything as a repeat, maybe the Cal from a few weeks ago, but I wanted to have some progress. So next time, hopefully I will have some more finished objects. And that's it. Everybody, please enjoy your weekend. It's going to be nice, at least here in Western New York. and I will be watching everyone's videos and catching up on your projects. So please like, subscribe, and comment if you want to, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.